welcome to the Golden Hour. I am Golden Duffy, your host, and it's been a while since I've gone live, so I'm kind of trying to get myself all straight today and get my lighting right, which still doesn't seem like it's right, so just bear with me. If you are listening on the Manifest to Live Life Golden podcast, we are on season 2, episode 30. I'm really pumped for this conversation. This is going to be a great conversation all about how you can take your power back with your health. I have some really cool stories to share and some information that you need to become aware of if you want to take your power back with your health. Now, first of all, understand if you're new to law of attraction, this may be a really hard concept for you because this is about taking full responsibility for your life and understanding that you are the creator, that you are creating all of it. And anything that's manifesting within your physical body has to do with you. It has to do with your internal experience, what you're feeling, what your beliefs are, what you're actually conducting from in the world. And I have some really cool evidence to share from personal stories in my life of how I am seeing the trajectory for people and how I am seeing really intense pain go away in moments because people are having the awareness around vibration. So when you raise your vibration, if you are experiencing illness, disease, it is a super low vibration. Anytime we're hit with, flus or sicknesses or whatever, we can track it back to the fact that we were either in a low vibrational state, we were exhausted, we exhausted our physical body, we're not taking care of our physical body. The other part that manifests within your physical body is emotions, the way you're feeling all the time, what you are conducting from. So this is why taking responsibility for your life is not something everybody wants to do, because I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's not easy. It's not easy to say, I created that, especially if you have something really serious going on. It's much easier to look outside of yourself and say, this terrible thing is happening to me and I need to find a doctor to help me to fix it. First of all, understand that vibratory response is always going to keep you in illness. Now, yes, you can go to the doctor and you can get medicine and you can get better. I totally believe in it. I have taken lots of antibiotics in my life and they work like a charm, and I've done it with my kids. But when it comes to really intense things that have been going on for a long time, that you've got a vibration going on with it. And I'm going to explain why. I forgot something. It's okay. I'm going to explain why, because when you have a vibration of illness or sickness or a belief that something is wrong within your physical body and someone on the outside is going to help you fix it, you often are giving your power away. And if you're running around, and I've done this with a lot of different things in my life where you're running around and you're trying to find solutions, but you are in the vibration of the problem. So let me explain a little bit of quantum physics to you so you can understand how energy works first. I like to kind of go back to the basics, especially when we're on a topic as heated as this, as charged as this, where we have to come into new belief systems about the body that we are in. All right. So you have a thought, you have a feeling, you have an emotion. Now your emotions are energy in motion. So basically your every thought does not manifest, but once you get to the feeling place of something, that's when energy starts to move. And that's a good thing because we don't want every one of our thoughts to manifest, because we often have like stinking thinking and we have fearful thinking and we don't want to create from that. So every thought doesn't manifest. You don't need to be a Nazi with your thoughts, but what you do need to understand is that underneath the thoughts, when feelings are evoked, emotions are evoked, it's like this wave behind me. This is why I love this picture so much. That wave of energy starts to come out and conduct, and you start to manifest from that. Now, when it comes to your physical body, if you have pain in your physical body, you have to look at the belief that you have around that pain in your physical body. You got to look at the belief first. What do I believe about this? Does it make me feel powerless? Do I feel like I can't figure this out? Am I looking to other people to solve this for me without going to my internal guidance, right? And we can be guided to doctors, we can be guided to different modalities. All of it's good. But what energy are you conducting from? Are you in a belief system that you will never escape this because you were told something by a doctor? I have heard so many times of these detrimental diagnosis given where doctors will say, this is that's it for you, or you'll never walk again, or you have this debilitating thing that you're going to have forever. Like, these are the things that create really, really solid belief systems within us that we start conducting from. When we do that, when we buy into these belief systems, our body, that's a signal to our body. That signal shuts down our ability to heal. It shuts down our body's ability to heal. Now, your cells replenish within 3 days. I did a show on this earlier. It's way back probably in my podcast. I had just gone, I'm going to give you a couple of references of people to look up, scientists, epigenetics that I follow, that I've done a lot of study with. They've done a lot of research. And I really believe what they say. And the reason why I believe it is because it makes so much sense to me. I've also listened to Deepak Chopra has a book out on audio called Quantum Healing. And he talks about healing people within weeks of like brain cancer. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing what happens when we put these different modalities in play and we believe in our body's own ability to heal. You have trillions of cells in your body, trillions. And when you think about, which you probably never do, the miracle that this body is, what it does every day, from getting you up out of bed to seeing a beautiful sunrise to breathing. We don't even think about breathing. And that's why half the time we're stressed, because we're not breathing deep enough. We're not conscious of our breathing. When you think about all the different organs and the things that are being, released, the toxins that are being released, all of that, and all of the stress that we put our bodies under. No wonder why we have a sick society, because nobody's looking at this. We're not looking at this. We're not grateful for this. We're not really paying attention to the fact that our bodies are doing so much on their own, and we're not being grateful for it. How gratitude is like the highest vibration we can be in. And when you're in gratitude, those lower vibrations of pain, sickness, and illness, they may manifest, but they're not going to hang out for very long. One of the greatest disservices we have done as a collective is buying into a society where we need medicine to function. Now, I'm not putting medicine down. I know there is a time and a place for it. And if it works for you, like I always say, you have to go with what you believe. I've been on migraine medicine for years. I could not live without it. I could not function without it. I have a story about that, pretty good story about that. I'm going to share in a little bit. But let's get back to the pain or the illness or the disease or whatever is manifesting within your body. There is a reason, and it's connected to emotions, beliefs, and feelings that are undertoning. They're underneath everything. So you may be walking around saying, well, I feel fine, and I pretend I'm okay, but I have this pain all the time and I can't really explain it. That was totally me. Right? But there are reasons. And when you start to understand your energetic body, that you have this energetic body that is manifesting things so that you can pay attention. Hey, I'm here. My lower back is here, and you're having some stress about this. By the way, lower back pain is always connected to finances and being supported in the world, because the lower back is your root chakra. I just did a whole thing on chakras, my last show. Check it out either on E360 TV or on my podcast site or on my YouTube channel. If you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would really love that, at Manifest to Live Life Goldyn. I'm working to up level my YouTube channel. That would be so awesome of you. And sometimes I give out freebies and do things on YouTube that I don't do anywhere else, and I may do more. So when it comes to that manifestation within your body, you have to start working in the energetic body and the emotional body and start asking yourself, how do I really feel every day? Like, you have to start getting honest with yourself. Am I living in fear of my finances? Am I listening to the news all the time? Am I in the doom and gloom? How often are you letting yourself, your own vibration, how often your vibration is your state or your mood? How often are you allowing the outside world to bring you down? You're doing that. You can't give that responsibility away because you're tuning into it and you're focusing on things that are dropping your vibration, that are causing you to be more and more stressed out. We don't need any more stress in the world. We don't need to focus on these things. People say, well, I have to know what's going on. Do you? Do you even really know what's going on? We don't really know what's going on. We're just like, we're puppets. They just tell us what's going on. So it doesn't really serve us to get in and look at these things and to let these things pull us out of our joy. What we really want to do is keep raising our vibration. This is how to solve every problem in the world. We just keep raising our vibration. We go within, we quiet our minds, we get to know who we really are, and we evolve as a collective. That's how we change the world in which we live. So when you're in pain, when you're not feeling good, when you're in sickness, when you're in illness, pay attention to the story that you have going on inside. What are you telling yourself that is perpetuating this to continue? What do you tell yourself day in and day out? Do you wake up in the morning and go, okay, pain, where are you? Right? Does the pain wake you up in the morning? I had that problem. I was waking up every single day with a headache. And I'll tell you how I got rid of that in just a second. What is the story wrapped around the pain? Especially if you've gotten a diagnosis from a doctor. Now, this is the interesting thing. So I see someone for body work from time to time. I see a couple different people. One, I get massages. Two, I've been doing this energetic healing work that I'm going to share, like the experience I had recently and what's happened since then. And then I also see someone who does energetic stuff, like body work with the massage gun. And he just has a really incredible knowledge of the body. And he's helped a lot of people not have to get surgery. Doctors are surgery happy. So they're going to tell you need surgery, and then you're going to be in pain until you get that surgery because you've bought into that belief system. We shouldn't need surgery. This body should not be breaking down. If we have the right signal going out, our body will restore itself. Look up Greg Braden or Bruce Lipton, Deepak Chopra. Look up these men who are really involved in epigenetics and shattering the illusion that we cannot heal ourselves. We have a self-healing mechanism within our body, but we have to start looking at our emotional field, the traumas. We have to start healing from these things instead of pushing them down and putting all sorts of substances and activities on top of them so that we don't pay attention to them. When you do that, you are subject to triggers, emotional triggers, which means you will not have control over your emotional field. You'll be subject to addiction. You will be subject to pain, illness, and possibly disease if you don't go within and start looking at this energy that's in your body that's calling you to pay attention. Pain, sickness, illness, it's all a call for you to start paying attention to your body, to your emotional state, to what you're doing in your life that is perpetuating energies of stress and tension. Most of our pain is stress and tension. Most of our pain is stress and tension. It is, because when we get ourselves all wadded up and we're in resistance to life and we're basically taking our muscles and we're pulling them, we're constricting them in so they're not in a relaxed state. And then we wonder why we have so much pain. If you have pain in your hips, your neck, all of that is trapped energy of stress and tension. Hips is usually emotional blockages. It's emotions that you have stored in your hips. It's usually has to do with relationships. I really truly believe that the pathway to disease has to do with holding on to anger, resentments, and unforgiveness. It manifests within your body. or being in a low vibrational state for a very long time where you are full of worry, you are full of fear, you are full of negativity, you are always complaining. Those are the energies that will manifest within your body and cause your cells to go haywire. They want you to believe that it's all, that we don't have any control over, that it's genetic. Dr. Bruce Lipton will tell you only 1% of things are genetic. Crazy, right? All right, so I got a couple of stories to share, and then we're going to go back into the study of this and why, so that I can help you to start formulating beliefs around miracles. I can help you to start seeing that if you could create a belief system, there's a couple step process that has to go to get out of the vibration of connecting with your pain, your sickness, or your illness. There's a vibration that we need to work on. We need to pull your vibration up to get you out of vibrating with these low level energies. Okay. That's all it is. It's just energy. If you believe that, if you know it's energy, right? Like if I get sick, which is it's not very often, and it's been a while. If I do have a cold or a flu or a cough or a sore throat or whatever, I know that it's my body releasing low vibrational stuff. I also know it's a call to heal, like to lay down, to work on my emotional field, to do some journaling, to connect with self-care. I know that that is an invitation for me to do that. I don't sit there and go, oh my God, why did I attract this, right? No. Also, if you do get the sniffles or you do get a sore throat, if you are most likely to say, I'm getting sick, or if you're likely to say, I don't want to get sick, like you're running around with a mask on saying, I don't want to get sick, what we resist persists. So we're going to attract that by our words. Remember, your words are extremely powerful. So if you say, I'm getting sick, guess what? Come here, sickness. Come in me. Yeah. Instead, if you were to look at it and go, okay, this is an invitation for me to do a little self-care. I'm a huge proponent of colloidal silver. I will actually put that up here. I'm not actually a affiliate with anyone, but I do really swear by this. I use the, I use the wellness formula one. It seems like it has the highest concentration. My entire family uses this. I believe this is the way to spell it. You can look it up. It doesn't look right, but I think that's the way to spell it. You can find it on Amazon. You can get it at Sprouts grocery stores if you have a Sprouts. Whole Foods does not sell it. This is very interesting. I just want you to hear this for a quick second. They took it off the market during our latest pandemic because it was being touted as a cure. It was being touted as to get people out of the pandemic. So they took it off the market. Very telling, Whole Foods. What the heck? Oh, I guess I probably have shared this before. I actually see it on here. Okay. Okay. So colloidal silver is like my swear by. Like if I feel anything going on, I don't go and say I'm going to be sick. I'm getting sick. I spray that. I spray it like 7 times, or I'll use the nose spray. It's great for travel. If you're doing a lot of traveling, clean out your nasal passageways. What it does is it cleanses and it eradicates viruses and all skin issues as well. So you may find things on the internet that say it's not good. I promise you, I saw a whole seminar on colloidal silver and how amazing it is and how miraculous it is and how it helps the body to restore and keep your immune system really strong. So that is one tip. I stopped pretty much all vitamins. I only do the colloidal silver, and I also do, I'm a huge proponent of mushrooms. You can watch, here's a little discount code for I take lion's mane and I take the 5 defenders. And I really think the 5 defenders is why we have been experiencing such health. We've traveled, we've gone to a wedding with hundreds of people. Quite a few people got sick after that. We did not. We traveled to a cold place. We came home to our warm house. It doesn't, like, just taking this stuff has really promoted our health within the last year. So I highly recommend it. I kind of stopped taking all other things. However, I do live in a sunny place and I get a lot of vitamin D. Vitamin D is something else that I would really highly suggest. I mean, you guys are all going into the cold season where you live. You want to get ahead of this stuff. and you also want to keep your vibration high. So I'm going to give you tips about keeping your vibration out of those lower fields where sickness and illness manifests. We got to clean up the internal world. So if you do feel a little tickle in your throat, or you do feel like, you're starting to get a little stuffy, look at it and say, okay, that's my invitation to rest more. That's my invitation to spray some colloidal silver. That's my invitation to sit down and to get real with myself. What's not working in my life? What's stressing me out in my life? And do some clearing energy on it. Breath work is great. Energy healers are amazing. If you can find a good one, incredible. But just work on your internal story and stop saying I'm getting sick, or stop saying I don't want to get sick, because the universe only hears the focus, which is sick. And that's going to actually create that in your life. When it comes to your pain, all right, let me just share a couple of my personal stories. When a couple of things happened recently that made me really want to do this show and to bring this show to you, and to realize that there are a lot of people that are dealing with pain, that are dealing with illness, that are just dealing with it. They're not actually doing anything about it, or they're running around to doctors. Let me tell you, we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to fix things in our own personal family and figured out we're in the problem. We're in the problem. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you first about my little story of my migraines. So I've definitely struggled with migraines and neck pain. So it's been years. I had a car accident when I was 16. So we often think about that, right? Like that's what I'm perpetuating. I was told that my neck would never be the same again. Then I saw a doctor like probably 5 or 6 years ago. My friend had done Botox in her neck, and I was like, oh, I should totally do that. Come to find out that could actually weaken your neck muscles. And I was like, okay, we don't need to create those problems where I can't hold up my head. So I decided that was a bad idea. But that doctor told me that I have a genetic condition called dystonia, which basically is your neck muscles just tend to freak out over the smallest things, like necklaces or collars or anything around my neck. I can't like tie a bathing suit around my neck. That will cause distress of my neck muscles and cause them to tense more than the average person. So I carry this belief around for a while, and I don't want to believe that, but it got inside of me, of course, right? Oh, my little Buddha. He didn't like that. See my little Buddha? This is Brian Zion. He is the creator of my cute little Buddha back here, who likes to fall down at the most interesting times. So I didn't want to buy into that. I've been working on different things, but I take migraine medicine. I actually take sumatriptan pretty often. Got into a cycle where I was taking it every day. And with me, I also had a belief that it was barometric pressure. So we get a lot of marine layer in California where I am. I used to get it back in the East Coast whenever there were storms coming, cloud coverage. I can literally feel that stuff like on my neck and my shoulders. So there was a secondary belief. So recently I went to an energy healer, and she did a lot of body work, and she asked a lot of questions, and I released a lot of emotions that I didn't realize I had been hanging on to. And I do emotional work and I do journaling all the time. So it was surprising, but it was wonderful because I felt so light and so much freer afterwards. So that was a few weeks ago, and I have not taken my migraine medicine since. Now, the interesting thing about medicine, when it comes to like Excedrin, aspirin, sumatriptan, any of these, you can get rebound headaches. So if you take them too often, they can actually cause headaches. Okay. Didn't know that. So being off of it feels really good. And I have not had any neck pain really since I've seen her. So, and if I do have any tension in my neck, I'm paying attention to what is causing it. And I sit down and I meditate and I relax. Getting yourself in a meditative state and allowing your body to completely relax is one of the most healing things you can do, and the most vibration raising thing you can do. When you can raise your vibration, you can raise yourself out of pain. You can absolutely raise yourself out of pain. And I have evidence. Okay. So my daughter, she is doing this incredible furniture restoration company, or furniture building. She's building furniture. Oh my gosh, not restoring. she's building furniture out of old barnwood. That's why it's restoration. So it's called the Rusty Barnwood Company, I believe. I should know this, but I'm going to have her on my show really soon. So she texted me one day, and this has been happening a lot. She has shows and she puts up all her furniture in the shows and she sells, and she hadn't really sold a big item yet. So she's got a lot of inventory and she's setting up all the time, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of work. So she texted me one morning, and it was during one of her shows, and I believe it was raining out too. And she said, "Oh my God, I have the worst migraine." And she gets migraines like she has to throw up. Like that's how bad it is. And she can't really function. So she's like, "I really wasn't feeling stress." I'm like, "It's stress." And she's like, I wasn't feeling stress. I'm like, "But she only gets these when she's doing these furniture things." So it's so interesting that when she goes there, that's what she experiences, because the stress of not selling stuff or selling stuff is just creating this energy for her, right? So, so I get on, I'm trying to get her a prescription of sumatriptan so that she can solve this for the day. Cause this is like the beginning of the day. This is like her last show, one of her biggest shows. And, all of that is just a big rigmarole, and we don't really succeed in that area. But then because I'm like solution mode mama, right? Like I just get in solution mode. I'm like, what do we need to do to fix this? Let's fix it. So I'm not anti-medicine. Like if that's what we need to do to get through, that's what we're going to do. So she goes a couple of hours. She's feeling terrible. She's still doing her thing. She's still talking to people. And an amazing woman comes in and buys one of her tables. It was actually the first thing that she ever made, and paid like a lot of money for it. And amazingly, her migraine lifted. And it's that sweet relief. It's that raise of the vibration. It's that energy, raising your energy out of the stress that created all of a sudden no physical pain at all. Amazing, like amazing. My other daughter was having a lot of wrist problems. She's still having wrist problems. She is a barista, and she also works at another place where she's constantly using her wrists. And I do tell her, and if you have wrist issues or thumb issues, because I get them from time to time, pay attention to how much time you're holding this, how much energy you're scrolling, because that's often when I get it from writing in the computer, but also from scrolling. And it's connected to this muscle right here. It's an overuse of this muscle. And I know because I will go to my bodywork guy and he will fix it for me. So get massage in here if you've got wrist issues. They will tell you have carpal tunnel. They will tell you need surgery. And maybe you do. I'm not a doctor. But what I am going to tell you is I believe you can fix it if you don't want to go that route. Go for massage. Also, I've had frozen shoulder situations where I was told I couldn't lift my arm like past here, and it was throbbing all the time. And I went to a massage therapist, and she worked it out from inside here, inside my armpit, and it was gone. So they will tell you need surgery for that as well. The other thing that I have also cured is plantar fasciitis in my foot. Now see, this was like a year with my shoulder until I decided to really get in solution mode and do something about it and believe that I could. It was massage and physical therapy. I was doing physical therapy for my shoulder, and my daughter also got out of her shoulder pain with physical therapy. So these things work, but it's like, what are we doing it from? Right? Like, what energy are we doing it from? So I believed that I could fix this shoulder thing. I believed that I could fix my foot. So I found these arch support things from CVS. So easy. Velcro. You Velcro them around the middle of your foot and sleep with them on, and it helps the foot to relax. And then the other thing I did was I YouTubed, because you can YouTube everything, what to do for plantar fasciitis. And I started doing exercise. I started putting my foot up against the wall and stretching out that muscle that gets super tight. So you don't have to deal with these things forever. There are solutions out there, but if you're running around and not believing in them, if you're believing that you're sick and there is no solution, then you're really just band-aiding yourself constantly, and you're not going to find that healing modality or mechanism that's going to help you. My other daughter was having wrist issues, and she actually like kind of entered into a relationship, and she started to feel love, and she started to feel giddy, and she started to feel happy. and her wrist pain went away. And it was like, oh my goodness. She was in the vibration of gratitude and love, and that wrist pain went away. And then my other daughter, I have so many daughters. Oh my gosh. My other daughter was having a lot of pain in her eyes. And it was like this really annoying. She was like, I think I need glasses. And I'm like, you don't need glasses. Like, you need to relax. It's stress. Like, it's something within your body. It's something in your emotional field. By the way, there's a really cool book out. I can't see the title of it from here. Oh, I think it's Take Off Your Glasses and See. Really cool book about how our vision is tied to our emotions. And if you can't see well, it's because you don't want to see something in your life. A lot of times kids end up with glasses because they're fearful in school. They're fearful of being called on. They're fearful of getting the wrong answer. So vision problems a lot of times can be tired muscles, right? Tired muscles in the eyes. Dry eyes. I've noticed as I get older, if my eyes are dry, if I yawn and I get a bunch of water in my eyes, I can see really clear. So, yeah, dry eyes and just fatigue in general, because we spend so much time on our phones and our computers. It's fatigue in general that is taxing the eye muscles and not allowing them to relax. So that book is really cool. So many things that we can do that can help us to heal. So she had these eye issues and she went to a massage therapist, and it was really, really interesting because her original massage got canceled and she got moved to a different massage place, and she's been in a lot of pain. And she walks into the massage and the man who's giving her massage is blind. He's blind. She said it was one of the greatest massages of her life because he was so intuitive, but it made her so grateful for her eyes that she raised her vibration and got out of the eye pain. So there is ways that we can raise our vibration that will help to get us out of pain, sickness, illness, and disease, and help us to start taking the reins on the power we have to heal. If we could just do a better job of educating ourselves, of looking outside of the dogma, of getting outside of this illusion and saying, okay, what can I do about this? If you're facing something like an autoimmune issue, or something that's been perpetuating for a long time and you've looked for solutions, I have a show way back with Dr. Benjamin Bajulis. He is amazing. Look for him on YouTube. He's incredible. He is helping people heal through food. And he had a lot of autoimmune issues. He's helped people with MS. I mean, so many things. I really believe in what he's doing. I know what he's doing is it's not easy, putting people up to these like tasks of really feeding themselves like incredibly healthy food, but it's worth it if you're dealing with a lot of issues and you want to step back into your health and take your power back. You can do it, but it's vibratory. Remember that it's vibratory. So where is your vibration at now? I would definitely look at all the tension that you have in your life. Look at all the stress you have in your life, right? And start asking yourself, why is this manifesting here? If it's lower back pain, ask your lower back what it wants you to know. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it totally works. And start journaling around the beliefs that are creating this lower back pain for you. Lower back pain, a lot of times. Now, if you've gone to the doctors and they tell you have like disc degenerative disease or whatever, this happened to my friend, you're going to grab that belief and you're going to hold it and you're going to manifest from it every day. Or if you've had back surgery, I know people, they've had back surgery. So they were told you're going to live with pain for the rest of your life. What do you think is going to happen? So if you really want to heal anything, you have to start believing that you can and start sending white light to it and start surrounding it in light and start surrounding it in peace and letting go of stress. The first step is quieting your mind and letting go of all the things that you believe about it that's perpetuating it. It is a massive letting go. This whole thing, if you want to raise your vibration, if you want to get into a high frequency, is about letting go. It's letting go of the minutia. It's letting go of the little things that tick you off. It's letting go of the things that bother you. It's letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, and not going there, not going to the pissed off, not going to the aggravated, not going to the frustrated, but it's deciding that your vibration is more important than allowing yourself to feed the drama. My favorite saying is no drama necessary. Because when we spin ourselves out and we get all worried and concerned and fearful, we are adding elements of stress in our physical body that's making ourselves go haywire. It's creating tense muscles, it's creating disease, it's creating illness because we're not in that higher vibrational state. If you wake up every day in a serious amount of gratitude and you grab that gratitude throughout your day, like you notice and you're present and you're taking yourself out of this monkey mind. I had a situation this morning. So I go walking. You can see my pictures on Facebook. I go walking in this incredible canyon and I just up-leveled the situation. So I usually walk this canyon and it's like asphalt and it's a pretty public place and there's not a ton of people there in the morning, but there's usually quite a few bikers and stuff. And recently my husband and I went and decided to go on this other trail that I hadn't been on in a long time. That's kind of the opposite side of it. So it's it's totally nature. Like there's nothing else around. It's a dirt path. And we've seen tons of animals. It's so thrilling. I get so excited when I see deer. I can't even tell you. I think it's like the most miraculous thing because we are in California and we're in such a populated area. And we grew up on the East Coast where deer was like, you had to be careful you didn't run into one on the road. It feels like a miracle to me. So, I go walking and today I'm walking and I keep realizing, so I didn't really see a lot of animals today and I think this is why, but I keep realizing that I'm in my to-do list in my head and I keep bringing myself back, but I'm in my to-do list. I had a lot to do today. I had this show today. I've got lots going on, lots of people I'm meeting, this and that. And I kept bringing myself back to presence. And it was cool because I kept doing that over and over again. I go for a walk for about an hour and I looked up and there was this hummingbird like doing this dance over my head. It was amazing. I've had the most coolest experiences with birds lately. The other day I had pigeons that just did this whole production in front of me. It was amazing. And then I've got a road runner every single day since I went walking with my husband, which was last week. This roadrunner comes out to greet me every day and it walks with me for a little bit. And they're the coolest thing. And the totem, the spiritual totem for a roadrunner is it's about humor and it's about seeing the lighter side of life and it's about releasing the seriousness. So the roadrunner definitely always brings me into the present. They're also very beautiful and they're good luck. So was really cool. But I consciously kept bringing myself back. So you're going to be subject to the mind. The mind is busy. The mind is dissatisfied. The mind always wants you to work on problems because it doesn't want you expanding and growing beyond it. When you expand and grow beyond the mind, it no longer has power over you. And that's when you start to choose your thoughts. You get a little bit of space. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to get sucked into a neural pathway that's something you don't want to think about, but you will find yourself quicker and easier to get out of it if you have some mind training in place, which is meditation. I have a great group on Facebook called the M21 Revolution. It's free to join. We do donation-based challenges. We have a 21-day challenge up on the top of that page right now. If you're not a meditator and you want to know how and you want to get started, this is a great way to do it. So just ask to join. We'll let you into the group. And then we will let you know the next challenge we're going to do, I think was going to be in January. Pretty sure. It's been a year. But this is a great way to quiet your mind. You have to quiet your mind. If you really want to train your mind, you have to learn to quiet it. And you have to learn to create some space between you and your mind. Otherwise, you're going to be subject to this monkey mind. And anxiety and worry and fear drive this baby even harder. They drive it faster and harder. That's why, like in the middle of the night, you'll wake up and it will just be like your mind is like spinning out because you finally rested. You finally allowed yourself to just be. That mind's going to get super active. And that happens in the beginning of your meditation practice as well. So that's why you have to breathe. You have to keep coming back. Like I was this morning, I just kept coming back to the present moment. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm in the middle of nature. I don't need to think about that right now. I don't need to do that right now. I'm going to do that later. I can just be here now and be present and look for the miracles and the wonders of this beautiful canyon. So it's possible to do that. Nature is the great restorer. It's the great restorer. It will restore you back to your energy of well-being. If you are not getting in nature, you are doing yourself a great disservice, especially because we spend so much time in electronics. What happens is our body is not aligned with the ground of the earth. And that's where our vibrational state of well-being is found. So if you can get your feet on the ground, I mean, even concrete works, believe it or not, because it's porous and it breathes and you can feel the ground underneath it. If you can get your feet on the ground, if you can spend some time in nature, so important. It is the great restorer. I do every single day I'm out there because I know that it makes me a better person. So we got nature, huge vibration raiser. Only though, if you can get yourself out of your to-do list while you're doing it. Make it meditative. Don't listen to a podcast unless it's mine. No, I'm just kidding. You can listen to a podcast if you really need to, like if it's really an uplifting podcast. I used to listen to books all the time, Wayne Dyer, and I listened to Letting Go by Stephen Hawking. I love that book. But I decided that the sound of the birds is better for me. Like it's just more restorative because I'm not working on myself. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm not trying to do research. I'm just being. And it's wonderful. I'm just walking to walk. I'm walking for my health. I had a gentleman recently ask me, he's like, why are you here? He goes, what are you after? It was the strangest question. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you're clearly fit and in shape. And I was like, I said, I'm after nature. That's what I'm after. And if you don't use it, you lose it. You know, if you want to stay fit and in shape, you have to do it. You got to walk. Walking to me is the best way to maintain health. And I walk 10,000 steps a day and I burn like 2,200 calories. I eat whatever I want. And I don't. I'm pretty healthy about eating, but I don't track or beat myself up or anything. And I feel really fit right now. So walking, nature, great restore. Meditation is my first one, not my second one, but it's close up there with meditation. I mean, with nature, meditation is so important to restore your vibration and to release you. This is the greatest thing meditation does. It releases you from the energy that is squawking at you, all the stress, all the tension. If you can just let go and be, you will bring yourself into a higher state of consciousness. And it is in that higher state of consciousness where you're going to get hits for your intuition. You're going to get solutions for your sickness, illness, or pain, whatever you got going on. You're going to be more in tuned to the universal wisdom, divine energy, source, God, whatever you like to call it. You're going to be more in tune to it. So it's going to help you in every area of your life. Meditation by far. The third one is gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. When you can raise your vibration and be grateful. This is the thing with gratitude. We forget. We forget to be grateful, you know, and we take things for granted. And when we take things, my battery is low. 1 second. Let me plug in. When we take things for granted, we are doing ourselves a great disservice. We are doing life a great disservice when we are not. Okay, we're powered up. Whew, that was close. We are doing ourselves a great disservice when we are not in gratitude because we are taking life for granted. When you take life for granted, you're basically telling the universe, whatever, I have my legs, I have my eyes, I have my ears, whatever, you know. Can you imagine if you didn't? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you couldn't walk or you couldn't see or you couldn't hear? This is the thing. When we put ourselves in gratitude for everything, right? And we feel the energy of gratitude, we raise our vibration. Love and appreciation are the highest vibratory states you can be in. And when we do that, I noticed this recently. So something happened with my kids and one of them went out super late. My kids are not partiers. I'm very, very blessed. My two older ones kind of were, and I went through holy heck with them, and my little ones are not. They're good kids. They're usually home early at night. They don't go out drinking. They don't do risky things, and I really appreciate that. One of my children decided to go out one night drinking and came home super late, and she was really upset. She had work the next day, and like work within a few hours, and she couldn't sleep. And I went and I cuddled with her, and I calmed her down, and I helped her to fall asleep for 20 minutes or whatever it was. And she ended up making it to work. And so it kind of messed up my sleep. And when I woke up the next day, I told my husband what happened, and he was like, wow, you don't even seem annoyed. And I was like, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that she came home safe. I'm so grateful that she's smart. Like no one drove, drinking and driving was not happening. They had a designated driver. I'm just so grateful that we don't deal with this a lot. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. And when you are in the energy of gratitude, when that is like your foundation, which is why I didn't go into annoyance, because I already had a foundation of gratitude throughout my day. It was easily found. I had easily found it. So when you're in gratitude, you don't experience things the same way. You experience things in a much lighter way. So it doesn't bring you down. It doesn't cause you stress. It doesn't cause you the energy of feeling like you're out of control. I also have a friend who's going through, who just went through shingles, and she was telling me that she is in the energy of gratitude, that she was in the energy of gratitude. So it didn't manifest the same way shingles normally does. And I thought that was really telling, because she kept herself in gratitude instead of getting depressed or sad or upset that she manifested this. She actually stood in her power, and she came from gratitude, even though she was in pain. And she told me that being in gratitude actually made the pain a lot less. Hello. Hello. What are you grateful for? And are you focusing on gratitude at all? All right. So pain is your sign to look within, to start writing, to start journaling, to start asking yourself, why is this manifesting? Why is this lower back pain manifesting? The only time I've ever had lower back pain or thrown my back out, I used to throw my back out a lot, it always had to do with either I wasn't taking care of myself. There was a lot of stress and I wasn't taking care of myself. And I've done it like picking towels up off the floor. That was the worst one I ever did. But it was after a big party that we threw, and I had been really stressed and under a lot of pressure. And I picked up a towel off the floor and threw my back out so bad I couldn't put my feet on the floor for at least 2 days. It was crazy. They had to walk me to the bathroom. It was bad. And I've done it a few times in my life, and it was always related to financial stuff, financial stress, not believing in my well-being, not believing that I'm supported. The financial stuff can really manifest as illness. I think that's why a lot of people experience heart attacks, because they put themselves under so much stress and they don't have the faith and the trust that things are going to work out for them. I've been through so much financial stuff. Like, I know it's always working out for me. So when you know this, I just did a whole show on faith and trust. And when you live from faith and trust, nothing really bad happens, because you look at situations and you go, something good is coming from this. So you let go, you surrender, you accept. Whatever's going on, whatever has manifested in your body, look internally. Are you carrying resentments? Are you carrying unforgiveness? Are you really self-critical? Are you beating yourself up? We call that the shitty committee. Are you listening to that too much? All those things are of a low vibrational state and will help you manifest disease and illness even more stronger. Look and see where this is manifesting within your body, and watch my last show on chakras, because you can clear your chakras. There's lots of YouTubes on, I like Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza does one on clearing the chakras. There's, these energy centers in your body, and when they get blocked, they wreak havoc within the body. So we want them to really be producing correctly, running. If you have a chakra that's blocked, you may have especially in the root. If you've got a lot of fear, if you're feeling unsupported, that is usually where that's going to manifest. So take a look at this stuff. Don't wait until this turns into some sort of illness. Don't wait for this thing to manifest and become worse. And the other thing is, if you have something that has manifested some pain and it's perpetuating, like you've had it for a long time, start looking at your belief systems and start looking at the ways that you're holding on to it, right? Like ask yourself, like, is this pain or illness or sickness or whatever, is it creating something for me? Like, am I benefiting from it? Like, am I getting attention? Am I creating drama so that I get attention? Like, you have to be honest with yourself. You got to be really honest with yourself, because if you're not, these things are going to keep perpetuating and you're not going to get to the heart of them. Ask yourself honestly, am I in a bad mood every day? Am I like miserable to live with? Are you complaining all the time? Do you constantly complain? I had that problem, believe it or not, consistently. My next stuff, oh yeah, complaining. No more. So you have to really train what comes out of your mouth. You have to train what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on all the things that are going bad, you can't possibly manifest the good because you're on a different vibrational plane. Pay attention to what you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. All of those things connect with your vibration and send energy out. It's the signal. And one of the greatest things that I learned about cancer, the major signal for cancer, and you can actually look this up, look up Anita Moorjani. Love her. She was, 80% of her body was filled with cancerous tumors. She was basically dying. She did die. She crossed over. She wrote a book called Dying to Be Me. She's amazing. I've seen her speak. Is fear. Fear sends the signal for your cells to actually go haywire. And she was afraid. She was really afraid of getting cancer. She was really living an inauthentic life because she was a people pleaser and she was trying to make things good for everybody around her. So read that book. It's a really, really good book. And it really gets you in touch with, what am I afraid of? Fear is false evidence appearing real. So if you're sending out a signal of fear about health, everything, finances, the world, if you're constantly conducting from fear, your internal system is going to go haywire. And before you know it, that fear is going to manifest as something a lot bigger than just what your mind was projecting. Remember that. Your mind is always projecting. You are always projecting a picture of the future. What are you projecting? I'm taking an acting class. It's so freaking cool. I love it so much. I'm learning so much about myself. But that was like one of the things. So we're doing this thing like imagination, and we do this thing where we kind of like role play by ourselves. They call it daydreaming. And realizing that every like picture that you get in your head or thing that you tell yourself about what's going to happen next creates the energy for that, creates the vibration in your body for that. Wow, is that powerful stuff? So what are you projecting for your future? Are you seeing things really working out well for you? Because if something happens that's less than great, and you send a signal of everything's going to be fine and I trust and I have faith, guess what? You're going to see evidence of it a lot sooner than if you are worried and fearful and causing yourself to go into a tailspin. It all begins with you. It all begins in what you believe and what you feel and what you think. All of it. So take your power back. If you've got pain in your body, anywhere in your body, talk to it. Ask the pain to leave. Ask the pain what it wants you to know, and work on breathing to release it. I promise you, the more you can relax and get yourself out of tension, the less pain you're going to have in your body and the less illness is going to show up along the way. So, and if you want some more information on law of attraction, you do have to look up Goldyn Duffy books on Amazon. Thanks, Amazon, for burying my books. But I have 3 books out: Quantum Speak for Parents, My Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal will help to put you in a high vibration daily. And it's a really awesome journal with writing prompts as well. You will love that book. And then the first book that I ever wrote is Mindful Manifestation Secrets. Here's Quantum Speak for parents. If you're looking for any parenting, energetic parenting, this is my 30 years of parenting advice. So good. So good. Can't even say enough about that one. And then Mindful Manifestation Secrets is our book from moving from Connecticut to California and how we manifested along the way. But it is a how-to book, how to take your power back in every possible way and how to actually create from the energy that creates worlds. All right. I love you all. Peace out. Let's go.